to World News. Tonight, Fort Hood tragedy. An Army psychiatrist is the suspect in a shooting spree at the largest U.S. Army base. Military and civilians are dead, while 30 were wounded.
From ABC News headquarters, this is World News with Charles Gibson.
Good evening. There are approximately 15,000 soldiers from Fort Hood, Texas, now in Iraq. That base has suffered more casualties in Iraq than any other. But today, the casualties were on the base. The greatest danger was here, at home. It was 1:30 local time at Fort Hood, Texas. Authorities say an officer, Major Nadal Malik Hassan, a Muslim, who was an Army psychiatrist, opened fire with handguns near a facility where soldiers get medical clearance before deployment overseas. 12 people, military and civilian, are dead. 30 were wounded. First reports said Major Hassan had also been killed, but just moments ago this evening, authorities at the base reversed themselves and said he was alive and in custody. President Obama called this incident an horrific outburst of violence.
These are men and women who have made the selfless and courageous decision to risk and at times give their lives to protect the rest of us on a daily basis. It's difficult enough when we lose these brave Americans in battles overseas. It is horrifying that they should come under fire at an Army base on American soil.
We have several reports tonight, and we're going to begin with Martha Raddatz, who is in Washington. Martha?
Charlie, the suspect was shot multiple times. He was an Army doctor at the base hospital, and some of the soldiers that were killed were on their way to Iraq.
It was a horrific attack. Armed with handguns, the shooter entered the processing center where soldiers were getting final medical and dental checks before deployment.
There was a single shooter that was shot multiple times at the scene. However, he was not killed as previously reported. He is currently in custody and in stable condition. I say again, the shooter is not dead, but in custody and in stable condition. Earlier, it was reported that one victim was killed, was a female civilian officer. We now know that the female officer is alive, just out of surgery and in stable condition.
But not before he left dozens of soldiers dead or wounded and this sprawling Army base in combat mode. Military, federal, and local authorities locked down and surrounded the base, including its 9 schools. An internet message helped spread the word. The post is on lockdown, it said. This is not a drill. Please stay inside. It is an emergency situation. For those who were off post, it was even more frightening.
It's really disheartening to be, something's going on and you can't get to your child.
The 2 additional suspects were found, but may not have been involved in the shooting. The suspect who was killed has been identified as Major Nadal Malik Hassan, an officer who worked his way up the ranks in the U.S. Army.
It's a terrible tragedy. It's stunning. As I say, as I've gone around to the hospital here, as I've been at the scene, the soldiers and family members and many of the great civilians that work here are absolutely devastated.
Fort Hood's 1st Cavalry Division is currently deployed to Iraq, making this all the more tragic. This woman's husband is among the soldiers in Iraq.
He's really upset and he's freaking out.
Can you read to us? Do you mind?
Yeah, it says, I'm freaking out here. I have no idea what's going on. The guys keep asking questions. Can someone please tell us something?
It's very, very stressful and we don't know what's going on.
I don't believe for a second that a soldier could do this to another soldier at Fort Hood. I don't believe that these could be soldiers.
And on Capitol Hill late today, a moment of silence. Texas Senator Kay Bailey Hutchison said the shooter was about to be deployed.
The shooters were military people, and of course that's very troubling.
Again, the suspect is still alive after suffering many gunshot wounds. Muslim communities across the country are condemning the shooting. And as for the suspect, as one officer's wife told me, I wish his name was Smith. Charlie?
All right, thanks very much. Reporting from Washington, we're learning more about the background of the suspected gunman. As Martha said, Major Nadal Malik Hassan, Dr. Hassan. And our chief investigative correspondent, Brian Ross, joins us now. What more have we learned?
Well, quite a bit, Charlie. He was 39 years old, a Palestinian, according to religious leaders in Maryland, where he prayed, who had just been promoted to major this past May. He also had troubling signs that may have been red flags. He had hired a lawyer to get him out of the military. He did not want to be deployed to Iraq. He had written email messages about 6 months ago that came to the attention of authorities in which he compared suicide bombers to GIs who protected their comrades by throwing themselves on grenades, and he praised Allah throughout that. He also complained of being harassed by members of the military who he says called him a camel jockey.
There is an irony in all of this, though. Here's a psychiatrist treating people who have come back from the Iraqi war, and yet he is the one who apparently snapped.
He seems to have been suffering from some of the same stresses for which he was treating his patients. He trained at Virginia Tech, where he went to undergraduate school, and then went to the U.S. Military Medical School, first served at Walter Reed Hospital, became a psychiatrist, and had just been transferred over the summer to Fort Hood.
And I gather some of his evaluations that he got at Walter Reed were not stellar.
There were questions about him. He was, at one point, according to NPR, he was criticized for proselytizing, trying to convert people to the Islamic faith.
But he did belong on that base. He's not somebody who breached security and got on the base.
He had all the passes, all the securities. A Texas congressman who's been briefed on this says he became kind of a gun nut and took special training in weapons.
Now, there's always a concern when you hear something like this. Could this be a large conspiracy? Could there be other people involved? Could it be a cell? Could it be terrorism? And when we first heard from the general there who commands the base, he said that there had been some other people detained, which led to the possibility, in everybody's mind, I think it was terrorism. But it does appear now this fellow acted alone.
That's right. The two other people who were arrested and called suspects have since been released, and now the focus is simply on him. Authorities have spread his picture around to other military bases in the country to see if anybody else knew about him or they'd seen him there. But at the moment, it looks like one man who snapped.
All right, our chief investigative correspondent, Brian Ross. Thanks. And ABC's John Quinones is outside Fort Hood this evening. John, we did get a surprise here. We'd been believing all day long that the suspect was dead himself, but I wonder what we do know about those that he killed.
Well, you know, we still know that they were from all branches of the Army. Some were active, some were reserve, some were with their units, some were traveling as individuals, some were coming into the country, some were just getting ready to ship out.
Yeah, I gather what complicates this to some extent is that this was actually a wide-ranging group of soldiers who were from a lot of different units, which makes the grief counseling more difficult and the investigation, I suppose, more difficult.
Yeah. You know, and some of what we heard tonight also is the heroic actions of some of the soldiers on the scene. There were 100 people there when this all happened, and some of the other soldiers started ripping off their uniforms and performing CPR and first aid on their fallen brothers and sisters. The base officials here tonight are saying their focus now is threefold: to care for the wounded, the security of the base, which remains on high alert, and of course the grief counseling that you mentioned. There are so many families, that's their biggest challenge, counseling so many families here who are suffering tonight.
All right, John Quinones at Fort Hood tonight. 31 wounded. Again, some of those wounds serious. We'll learn more as the days go on about just how serious those wounds were. Soldiers from Fort Hood were among the first U.S. troops deployed for the war in Iraq. As we mentioned, soldiers from the base have suffered heavy casualties. 483 Fort Hood soldiers have been killed in Iraq and more than 20 in Afghanistan since 2001. No other base has suffered more. Here's John Berman.
It is the world's largest military installation, and for the last decade, Fort Hood has shouldered one of the largest military burdens.
Your soldiers served with as much distinction as any who have worn this uniform in our nation's history.
We will now conduct the last roll call of our fallen comrades.
The most killed in Iraq. Its soldiers have seen some of the fiercest fighting.
There's no way to forget it. See things that you never should see in life.
About 15,000 troops from Fort Hood are now in Iraq, the 1st Cavalry Division on its 3rd deployment. Its soldiers fought street to street in Baghdad's Sadr City.
We were fighting for April for 80 straight days.
It was the 4th Infantry Division that captured Saddam Hussein.
We got him.
When the 4th Infantry Division nabbed the Ace of Spades,
the people of Iraq knew he would never terrorize them again.
There are more than 5,000 families at Fort Hood.
There is a sisterhood of Army spouses that you can't describe it. You cannot describe it. That's how we keep each other happy.
Our families have really sacrificed much more than any of us could have. And it's really hard to...
I don't know.
Thanks ain't enough, but it's all we can say to them.
And for the last 8 years, these families have been waiting and worrying together.
It creates a bond. They know your experience. They share that sense of loss and the grieving, and they don't tell you to just move on. You can't just move on. Everybody here at Fort Hood will say, if you need something, call us. And they mean it. They take care of you.
And tonight, once again, they'll be taking care of each other. John Berman, ABC News, New York.
And there will be more on this story on Nightline and tomorrow on Good Morning America. Still ahead, opponents of health care reform storm Capitol Hill as Democrats move toward a crucial vote. Vaccination controversy. Wall Street firms getting swine flu vaccine before many doctors on Main Street get it. And inside Fort Hood, a community that has endured so much, but never a day like this.
This is World News with Charles Gibson. Brought to you by Frosted Mini Wheats.
Let's take a look at the stats. Mini has more than double the fiber in whole grain, making him a great contender in this bout against mid-morning hunger.
Honey Nut Cheerios is coming in a little short. You've got more whole grain in your little finger.
Let's get ready for breakfast! Keeping you full and focused with more than double the fiber and whole grain in every tasty bite. Frosted Mini Wheats.
Didn't know I had it in me.
We've been noticing Mom acting forgetful and confused. Like she was drifting away. We wanted to be there for her, to hold on to her. Mom's doctor said her symptoms were signs of Alzheimer's, a type of dementia, and the prescription Aricept could help. It's thought Aricept may reduce the breakdown of a vital chemical in the brain. Studies showed Aricept slows the progression of Alzheimer's symptoms. It improves cognition and slows the decline of overall function.
Aricept is well tolerated, but not for everyone. People at risk for stomach ulcers or who take certain other medicines should tell their doctors because serious stomach problems such as bleeding may get worse. Some people may experience fainting. Some people may have nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, bruising, or not sleep well. Some people may have muscle cramps or loss of appetite or may feel tired. In studies, these were usually mild and temporary.
If it helps Mom be more like herself longer, that's everything to us.
Don't wait. Talk to your doctor about Aricept.
There are engines, and then there's the twin turbocharging, 365 horsepower generating EcoBoost engine, and the all-new Taurus SHO from Ford that has the thirst of a V6 with the thrust of a V8. We speak car, we speak innovation. Introducing the all-new Taurus SHO from Ford. Drive one.
A bad cold hits your whole body. Alka-Seltzer Plus is specially formulated with cold and flu-fighting ingredients and a strong pain reliever to rush relief everywhere you need it. Alka-Seltzer Plus.
Are you up for fun? I have just met you, and I love you. Squirrel! 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 Where? I hate squirrels!
Disney Pixar's Up, rated PG, on DVD and Blu-ray November 10th.
It has been a wild day in the battle over health care reform. In Washington, opponents of President Obama's reform plan held a raucous demonstration and then descended on Congress, just as the president was making a surprise appearance to trumpet two major endorsements of his proposal. John Carl reports from Washington tonight.
The town hall fury of August has come to Capitol Hill.
Madam Speaker, throw out this bill.
Thousands of demonstrators rallied on the Capitol steps and stormed the halls of Congress, ripping up pages of the Democratic health care plan and chanting, "Kill the bill."
Kill the bill!
Several were arrested near Speaker Pelosi's office, and outside, defiant House Republican leaders.
This bill is the greatest threat to freedom that I have seen in the 19 years I've been here in Washington.
Not one Republican will vote for this bill. And angry protesters.
This health care bill is a disaster. 2,000 pages of crap.
I don't believe that I should have to take care of somebody else's health. Take care of your own health. It's going to devastate America.
The hastily planned protest drew one of the largest crowds in memory for a congressional event. The crowd extends all the way up around to the House side of the Capitol building, across to the Senate side, literally surrounding the western front of the Capitol. While Republicans protested, President Obama touted two big endorsements of the health care bill from the AARP and the American Medical Association.
I urge Congress to listen to AARP, listen to the AMA, and pass this reform for hundreds of millions of Americans.
Health care for all.
In much smaller numbers, pro-health care reform protesters also hit Capitol Hill.
Shame on Senator Lieberman. Shame!
And were arrested for occupying the office of Democrat Joe Lieberman, who has said he may join Republican efforts to kill the Senate bill. Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi is hoping that those AMA and AARP endorsements will help her pass the Democratic bill in the House by this weekend, but she is not there yet, Charlie. She still needs to get the votes. In a bid to help get her there, President Obama is going to be up here on Capitol Hill tomorrow to rally Democrats.
But we could have a vote, John Karl, in the House this weekend, or does it go over to next week?
We could have a vote this weekend. We almost certainly will have a vote this weekend. If we don't have one, it will mean they don't have the votes yet.
All right, Jonathan Karl on Capitol Hill, thanks. And on the money tonight, worker productivity jumped 9.5% in the second quarter of the year. That's the fastest pace of improvement in 6 years. Employers are making do with fewer workers, diminishing hopes for new hiring. And on Wall Street, stocks rallied. The Dow Industrials gained over 200 points, closing above 10,000 for the first time in 2 weeks. And still ahead, why are some Wall Street firms getting the swine flu vaccine while some pediatricians haven't gotten any?
If you've had a heart attack caused by a completely blocked artery, another heart attack could be lurking, waiting to strike. A heart attack caused by a clot, one that could be fatal. But Plavix helps save lives. Plavix, taken with other heart medicines, goes beyond what other heart medicines do alone to provide greater protection against heart attack or stroke and even death by helping to keep blood platelets from sticking together and forming clots. Ask your doctor about Plavix, protection that helps save lives.
If you have a stomach ulcer or other condition that causes bleeding, you should not use Plavix. Taking Plavix alone or with some other medicines, including aspirin, may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor before planning surgery or taking aspirin or other medicines with Plavix, especially if you've had a stroke. Some medicines that are used to treat heartburn or stomach ulcers, like Prilosec, may affect how Plavix works, so tell your doctor if you are taking other medicines. If fever, unexplained weakness, or confusion develops, tell your doctor promptly. These may be signs of TTP, a rare but potentially life-threatening condition reported sometimes less than 2 weeks after starting Plavix. Other rare but serious side effects may occur.
If you take Plavix with other heart medicines, continuing to do so will help increase protection against a future heart attack or stroke. Feeling better doesn't mean you're not at risk. Stay with Plavix.
I have high blood pressure, and I was surprised to learn that it may have led to my erectile dysfunction. That's when my doctor told me about Levitra.
Certain medical conditions, including high blood pressure, diabetes, and high cholesterol, can decrease blood flow, which may lead to ED.
That was news to me. And my doctor told me Levitra could help.
Levitra works by increasing blood flow to help treat ED.
Levitra works for me. Maybe it can work for you.
Ask your doctor if you are healthy enough for sexual activity. If you have heart problems, are on alpha blocker therapy, or have uncontrolled high blood pressure, talk to your doctor before taking Levitra. Do not take Levitra if you take nitrates for chest pains, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects may include headache, flushing, and stuffy or runny nose. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help if you experience an erection lasting longer than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss of vision or hearing, stop taking Levitra and call your doctor right away. Ask your doctor if Levitra is right for you.
This is one way of getting vitamins and minerals. This is another. New Total Blueberry Pomegranate cereal gives you 100% of the daily value of 12 essential vitamins and minerals. And is truly delicious. How are you getting 100%?
The Centers for Disease Control said today the distribution of H1N1 vaccine is accelerating. More than 35 million doses of the vaccine have been distributed around the country to date. But we learned today that some Wall Street firms have gotten the vaccine to give to employees who are at high risk for the virus. That news did not sit well with many doctors and hospitals who have yet to get any vaccine. So here's David Muir. David?
Charlie, as you know, federal and local authorities were quick to point out today that those banks and businesses that got the shots have been told to give them out the way they're supposed to high-risk employees first. But when you've got patients at doctors' offices and hospitals waiting for shots that haven't even arrived, you get a lot of people asking, is this the best way to get that vaccine out? With long lines before dawn in Indianapolis,
we've been here for maybe a half hour.
40 minutes, 45 minutes. This woman in Texas waiting since 3 a.m.
Because it was important.
There is growing anger over where and how the H1N1 vaccine is being distributed, especially today with news that Wall Street banks were among large businesses that got shots before some hospitals and doctors' offices. Goldman Sachs, 200 doses. Citigroup got vaccine too. So did the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. Today, the White House said local authorities would be issued an urgent reminder about who gets priority.
They should. So basically, Goldman Sachs should not have gotten any until the hospitals had gotten it.
This is a decision that is a decision that local officials made. If there's somebody that is not in a priority group that is getting the vaccine, that is obviously a problem.
Banks and large employers have been given shipments of vaccines before to help get it out to the private sector. But when you've got patients waiting in doctors' offices that haven't received any vaccine, it doesn't look good. And today, the head of the CDC sent this to state and local authorities. I ask each of you to review your plans immediately and work to ensure that the maximum number of doses is delivered to those at greatest risk. Late today, New York obstetrician Narissa Gubala was still waiting. With dozens of expectant mothers as patients, she still hasn't received her first shipment. When you read the headlines that Goldman Sachs, Citigroup, some of these other corporate entities have received the H1N1 shot and you haven't, is it frustrating?
Oh, it's angering. No, actually it hasn't come in yet.
Another person frustrated that they can't find the shot?
Absolutely frustrated.
Courtney Washkowitz is one of those expectant mothers today, only to hear there is still no H1N1 vaccine.
It's definitely frustrating. I mean, I think we're at the top of the list.
In fact, Morgan Stanley received 1,000 doses of the H1N1 vaccine. Today, the bank said they never thought they would have received those doses ahead of the hospitals. So those doses, in fact, have now been donated to a New York Children's Hospital. And this evening, the New York City Health Department maintains it did distribute a vaccine to doctors and hospitals that could vaccinate large numbers before the banks. But so many doctors told us today, Charlie, that the system clearly is not working.
David Muir reporting tonight. Thanks. And when we return, the military base enduring a day unlike any other. We'll go inside Fort Hood.
We're on a mission to cause health food cravings. So when I'm making foods for Kashi, I seek out the tastiest ingredients, like roasted almonds, honey, even chocolate. That's cocoa? It's slippery. My job is to change healthy eating from have to want to.
Kashi, 7 whole grains on a mission.
Take your time to find the right time with Cialis for daily use. A clinically proven low-dose tablet for erectile dysfunction you take every day. So you can be ready anytime the moment is right.
Tell your doctor about your medical condition and all medications, and ask if you're healthy enough for sexual activity. Don't take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Don't drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, stop taking Cialis and call your doctor right away.
36-hour Cialis or Cialis for daily use. Ask your doctor about Cialis today, so when the moment is right, you can be ready.
Plain old chicken? Let Campbell's transform it into chicken with sun-dried tomatoes. Add unmistakable flavor to any dish. Go to campbellskitchen.com for more mouth-watering recipes.
So many reasons it's so good.
Would you like to go for a ride in that bike?
Okay.
Okay.
Whoa, yeah. You see, the terms require you keep the bike in this predetermined space. If you want to take the bike out, I'm going to have to charge you a penalty.
I can't really ride in this little space.
You can't ride very far.
Even kids know an offer shouldn't come with ridiculous conditions. Why don't banks? We're Ally, a new bank whose no-penalty CD lets you withdraw all your money and bring it anywhere without a fee. It's just the right thing to do.
We're introducing Millions to Silk Heart Health, shown to lower cholesterol in just 4 weeks. So join the Silk Million Hearts Challenge at silksoymilk.com and help us grow 1,000,000 hearts strong. Silk, strength in every pore.
What are you doing?
He's saving a baby's life.
ABC Tonight, miracles come at a price.
Buy our son 2 more months so that we can buy him a cure.
Some are worth risking everything.
Stina, put down that scalpel!
ABC's Grey's Anatomy, all new tonight at 9, 8 Central on ABC.
Repeating our top story, authorities say the suspect in the shooting at Fort Hood, Texas this afternoon, Major Nadal Malik Hassan, is not dead, as they earlier reported, but is in fact alive and under arrest. They confirmed 12 people are dead, 31 others wounded. Major Hassan, an Army psychiatrist, was about to be deployed overseas. Authorities have not said what his motive might have been. Finally, Fort Hood is more than a military base. It's also home to thousands of families, a community that sends soldiers off to battle and cares for them when they return. It's supposed to be a sanctuary. Many times, ABC's Aaron Hayes has reported on those families and the burdens they endure.
This is a place that has known sorrow and loss in the past. Families sent their soldiers to war knowing they might not return, but that sacrifice made sense to them. Michael Shackley and his father served together, and when we visited with them at Fort Hood, they explained why they were headed to battle.
I got 2 beautiful granddaughters. I want them safe and, be able to not be worried about a bomb blowing up somewhere.
Motivates me to get over there, do my job and come back safely to my kids and my wife. I'm going away for a year to preserve, what we have now. Can you give kisses?
That is what resonated here each time we visited, a true sense of purpose. We watched Peggy Austin prepare for her 3 sons to deploy to Iraq together.
I would give my life for them any second. I would go to Iraq and do their jobs if it was possible and leave them here.
So the only thing she made us promise is that we will take care of each other.
I can promise that I'll do my best to take care of my brothers and that we'll always love each other.
They sacrificed, they believed, to secure the peace for those they love.
I know the emotions when you leave your little ones behind, at least the ones I had, and it's tough.
We visited with children here who understood that.
I love him very much. And I'll miss him during the war.
I love you too, son.
My mom and my father are about to get deployed, both in Iraq.
And when Fort Hood soldiers returned from battle time and again to the arms of their families, it was to safe ground, to home, a place they believed they'd been fighting to protect, home to peace, until today. Not today. Aaron Hayes, ABC News.
And that is World News for this Thursday. I'm Charlie Gibson, and I hope you had a good day. For all of us at ABC News, have a good night.
The attack on Fort Hood. How could this happen? Hundreds of soldiers under fire. Who was behind it? Tomorrow, Chris Cuomo is right there with breaking details and new information on ABC's Good Morning America.
ABC Tonight.
It's all happening.
At 8, 7 Central. This is the episode you can't miss.
You can run, but you can't escape what's coming.
ABC's Flash Forward. All new tonight at 8, 7 Central on ABC.
If you have an iPhone, we've got an Eyewitness News app for you. Download the free ABC7 app now at abc7.com.
And when he was younger, he developed some allergies, and I had heard that cleaning air ducts was a good thing to do. And Coit was advertising, and we tried them out, and they did a fantastic job in cleaning the air ducts.
Now save 35% on all Coit cleaning services: carpet, drapery, upholstery, air duct, and tile and grout cleaning.
I'm a real nurse, a real mom, and a really satisfied Coit customer.
People you trust Coit.
In 1866,
during a 32-day battle to rid the San Bernardino Mountains of all Indian people. A heroic Indian leader, Santos Manuel, led his people on a perilous journey to freedom. As Santos Manuel saved his tribe, his story inspires a culture of bravery, leadership, and overcoming great odds in the tribe now named